Hey everyone, it's Yishan here. Just a couple of things before we get into the video. Number one, if you enjoy the content, do please consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. And number two, I've got a couple of affiliate links, free ways to support the channel. Number one is my TCG player link. If you shop there, I get some of the money you send on the website. It costs you nothing extra. Number two is my Your Playmat affiliate link. They make custom sleeves and mats. This is a custom sleeve right here. Check them out. If you use that affiliate link, you get 10% off. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into the video. Hey guys, it's Yishan here. I am with my good friend Donovan, who managed to get top 4 first after Swiss. He finished with a final record of 7-1, playing Drytron with the Fusion Destiny package. Donovan, how you doing? How does it feel to get top 4 at an OTS regional qualifier?
Hi, great to be here. Honestly, it did not feel that great considering that for playing through 6 rounds of Swiss, winning my first match of Top Cut, I only got an invite to the NAWCQ and basically nothing else because that's all they're required to give you.
Yeah, I was just talking to Donovan about this, and that is like, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, honestly, guys, I wouldn't play in one of these tournaments if you don't need your invite, because like, what kind of event can you go like 7-1 total and top 4 and get nothing? I mean, a lot of people already have their invites because they've been like racking up for the past like 2 years.
Basically.
So I mean, that is just crazy. But hey, people will still want to see your deck profile. I don't really think people actually care what kind of pricing you receive. Sorry to tell you. So,
I guess that's true, huh? But I mean, stay away from these things unless you're absolutely sure that you'll get more than just an invite for Top Cut.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So just double check, guys. That's probably maybe some of the best advice you'll hear at this video. Just play the regionals instead, man. Top 8 gets a mat. Top 4 gets a deck box. They got like a couple.
Yeah,
of these
regionals is
going
actually just a
on.
really fun experience with so many people. You get to meet with a lot of old friends who travel around and stuff.
Yeah. So just try one of those. But let's get into the deck profile. I think we've already wasted enough time here. So yeah, if you want to just take us through, explain some of your choices. I'll maybe ask some questions along the way. Other than that, yeah, take us away.
Okay, well, to get started with the original Drytron engine, you have 3 Zeta, 3 Alpha, 2 Delta, and 1 Gamma. I know a lot of people, 3 Zeta and 3 Alpha are just staples, but I know that the Delta and Gamma are kind of interchangeable. I prefer 2 Delta because, frankly, I don't like drawing Gamma just by himself. At least if you draw Delta by itself, it's a little more salvageable. And you always want to have at least 4 names in the deck. And 1 field spell because I personally like the field spell. I wish I could run more copies of it, but it does lose pretty hard to draw. And triple Cyber Emergency because it loses slightly less to draw. And then you have the 3 Nova. And I'm a fan of double field spell, not particularly because I'm afraid of Crow, but I think having Axe as a double field spell is just really nice. Hard opening 1 field spell is not as bad as it seems sometimes.
Are you talking about the ritual spell or the?
Yes, the ritual spell.
Okay. Because you just said field for a second. Okay, yeah, the ritual spell. Yeah, I think sorry. 2 feels nice. 2 feels nice for sure.
Yeah, 2 feels nice. Although, admittedly, there are some times where you kind of just draw it and you really aren't 100% sure what to do with it. But most of the time, it will be live or just being used in some way. And in your regular combo, if you dump with like Beatrice or Mu Beta Fafnir, the Xyz, you can dump another name instead of Zeta if you already have the field spell in hand.
The ritual spell.
The ritual spell.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, do I keep on?
Yeah, you keep saying field spell, but it's okay. I think we understand. Okay. I mean, I think, yeah, I can't argue there. So yeah, let's see what else we got in this deck.
And then for the rest of it, there's 3 orange, 3 diviner. That's kind of just standard bread and butter, especially if you're running the Ultimateness package. And 1 Eva. I wish I had more Eva, but you know, Eva at 1's fine. Then we run the standard Ben 10, Eda 10, Natasha, the really big Drytron, the one that everybody uses, and Ultimateness. Yeah,
so I see a lot of Drytron players. I mean, there's like a split sort of. You either play the Ultimateness or you play the pre-prep normal Herald package. What are your thoughts on sort of the differences between these 2 setups?
Okay, so despite the fact that the baby ultimateness kind of perfection, the perfection is
Yep.
definitely a lot more consistent, I suppose. I do like the fact that ultimateness just feels more consistent because there are times when I did test out the perfection build and it just felt really, really bad sometimes when I drew into the ritual spell for the perfection and the preps, the pre preps were just dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that can
Yeah,
feel
and
bad.
that's the main reason why I like ultimateness. And through the combo with Hip Hoshinigen, you can actually still end on 5 Omni negates the way you would if you were to just run regular ultimateness combo prior to the Eva hit.
Mhm.
So frankly, I don't think there's much of a change you need to do.
Now, I don't want to go too deep into the combos, but how does Hip Hoshinigen work with Ultimateness in terms of getting the 5 negates that you're talking about here?
So the kind of magic you have with the Hip Hoshinigen is that when it gets popped by battle or card effect, then
Mhm.
you can add a light monster from grave back to hand.
Mhm.
So on your turn, when you're just doing regular Drytron combo, you're using Beatrice to dump the Eva.
Mhm.
Then the next turn, you could just or when you in the regular combo when you make DPE as well, you could just use DPE to pop your Hippo Shinigan and just like another opponent's monster or something, and add the Eva you ditched back to hand.
I see.
And
I
so
see.
that'll give you the ultimate is orange in hand, which you added prior, and the Eva.
I see
And the
this.
Eva, when you ditch that turn, will also loop another 2, so that's 5 Omni negates total.
All right, I'm putting Hip Hoshinigen in the thumbnail for sure. That is pretty cool. So I see. You can even use DP if you just want to use it right away. You can just DP pop itself and Hip if you or don't want to wait for your opponent to summon something. But that's really cool. Okay, that makes some sense
Oh
to
yeah,
me.
absolutely. And I think I prefer making this over IP because in the event that they do end up like Dark Ruler and more droplets in you, if they do run over the Hippo Shinigan, you still add the Eva back to hand. Compared to the IP, which isn't really going to do anything once it had Spec negated.
I see. I see. That's pretty cool. Okay. Okay. I like it.
And the material for it is 2 lights, and frankly, you're always gonna have 2 lights on field somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And with even on your turn, if you don't have enough material, you can always link away the Beatrice for the Hippo Shinigan, because once you dump the first Eva with Beatrice, you don't really have very many other dump targets, unless you're siding in like Token Collector or something.
Right. 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 Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. Very cool. Okay. I think a lot of people will be interested in that. All right. What's next? We covered the cyber branches. We covered the rituals. I guess there is the fusion destiny targets and the dark ruler. So what should we go over first here?
So Fusion Destiny is just a really good card in general. Even if you hard open it, it's not the worst thing in the world because you can activate it at the end of your combo and don't have to worry about it compared to Red Eyes Fusion where it's just dead in hand.
Right.
And as for the targets, you pick Celestial because Celestial draws you 2. Who doesn't like to draw 2? And I specifically like Plasma instead of Dasher because you really can't summon anything off of Dasher in the Drytron deck.
Right.
If you summon anything with Dasher, you're locked out of Drytron effects for the rest of the turn.
Right. So yeah, Plasma just seems like the best hero with some. I mean, you probably never summon it, right? But maybe once in a blue moon. Oh,
I did summon it one time during in the first round of Top Cut. Actually, my opponent sight blocked me with Phantom Knights. So what I did is that I think I had Alpha and Zetas, and I had the Plasma in hand. So I just did regular combo, and when I had a Ben 10, I think a Diviner and a Zeta on field, I just tributed all 3 away for the Plasma, and I took his sight.
Wow. Okay.
So it was sitting at 3k, and he couldn't do anything against it because the DPE didn't work against a 3k booty. That was skill drain.
That's pretty cool. I like it.
And that actually ended up winning me the match. And I was like, okay, I think this is a good enough reason why Plasma should be run instead of Dasher.
Right, yeah, because Dasher's never going to come up. But Plasma, once in a blue moon, it will come up. So I agree with you.
And you even tribute Benton, so you get off a search with her too.
That's true. That's true. There you go. Hey, the good old fashioned tribute special summon.
Tributing Benton.
Okay. So we got that. We got the Dark Rulers and the preparations to go over. So which one shall we talk about first?
I like triple preparation of rights because that's just 3 more copies of Benten, and you just need as many Bentens as you possibly can. And Dark Ruler No More is just really, really good because if you end up losing the die roll, which statistically you will lose about half the time, Dark Ruler No More is just really good to break that board and win that game going first, especially if the other opponent is hard combo.
Yeah, I'm checking your math on that dice roll theory, and I think the math checks out there, Donovan. I think you might be right about that. Now, did you consider a card like Droplets, or is it more of like a price thing, which is like, I mean, because I know that card is like just
Oh,
ridiculously
droplets
expensive.
is 100% sure a price thing. Like, actually, in my last in the round I lost for top cut, we went into time because, what is it? Because there are no ties in top cut.
Right.
It when time was called, we just went to turn, and they checked at the end of the turn to see who has the most life at the end. And the opponent, who was playing Dragon Link, I think, had a Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend, and I had an Nibiru.
Mm-hmm.
If the card in my hand was actually a Dark Ruler no more, and if it was a Droplets instead, I could have actually Dropleted him. He didn't really have a response to that, and I could have been able to attack for game.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine Droplets is usually the better card, but it's also
Yeah, but it's also really hard to justify
Or-
the price point
yeah.
because Dark Ruler no more is like $5 and Droplets is
Yeah.
150 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 20, 30 times more expensive for probably like
And
90% effectiveness.
yeah, for all intents and purposes, if you're looking for a very budget option, Dark Ruler no more is perfectly fine. Don't consider getting Droplets, especially if it means that, you have to sacrifice, I don't know, like eating or something.
Yeah.
Because $150 is a lot of money.
Yeah, and you need 3 of them. So, well, hopefully that reprint
You need 3.
brings the price down, but we'll see.
I'm not. I don't have
know.
high hopes for that
Me
at
neither.
the slightest.
I don't have high hopes either. Okay, so we got the main deck covered. Let's take a look at the side deck here. Noticing the one random Lancia. Is there a reason for this, or you're just looking for a 15th card?
Lancia. Well, the nice thing about Lancia is that it's a light fairy. So
right.
realistically, against like Tri Brigade, Phantom Knights, all that fun stuff. What is it? You can't just search it off of Ben 10.
Right. Okay.
I would like to run more copies, but admittedly, I don't really think Tri Brigade or I saw a lot of Phantom Knights, but I don't really think they're going to be too influential for the meta until maybe like the next side set.
Okay. Oh, the
And
Phantom Knight
Sword
deck,
Souls
yeah.
have kind of become the new Tri Brigade, which Lancia doesn't hurt them all that badly.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Drolls and the Nibs. These are really popular right now. Pretty good.
Yep, Drolls and Nibs, because Nib sometimes getting rid of their board or just making them pass return is usually good enough to take advantage of. Drytrons could definitely take advantage of the fact that they just pass return and lethal through that. And then we have the generic back row removal. We have Twin, Feather Duster, Red Reboot, generically good back row removal cards, and 3 Token Collector. Specifically because at the OTS championships I went to, I play locals there, and there are just so many Sword Soul players.
This card's great against Sword Soul. How many times did you get to use this card? It's the best feeling when you resolve this against Sword Soul. It feels so good.
Oh, big time. What is it? Against, I think, my second Sword Soul matchup that day. I opened it in games 2 and 3. In game 2, he drolled me, and I actually just had a Drytron on him, so I just normal summoned the Token Collector, linked it off Reverte, and made DPE and Token Collector, and he actually couldn't play through that.
Yeah.
And then game 3, I actually dumped the Token Collector out Beatrice, because, that's something you can do.
Dumps any card in the game. A little bit suspicious, but hey, take it.
Yeah, and after that, he just couldn't do anything. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this card's a house. And then if you play against those random, like, Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon decks, that's nice. But you don't see as much of those. Okay.
Yeah, and it will definitely be good going in the format, in the next format with the next side set, because Brave tokens do summon, a token. Which is something that we'll have to experience eventually later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. Maybe not so much to that, but
maybe not. It's a generic splashable engine in basically every deck going forward.
Yu-Gi-Oh keeps evolving, I guess, and these generic engines are starting to get everywhere. But okay, let's take a look at the extra deck now. I guess we start from the fusions here.
The fusions, we have DPE and Entis, which are DPE is your Fusion Destiny target, because that card is just a house of a card.
Yeah, this card
non-targeting Scrap Dragon, quick effect Scrap Dragon, coming back every standby phase is just way too good for like this mid-range format that we have here.
Yeah, I've been really trying to get used to using this card in real life. Like, it's such a pain to like always effect, and then remember to summon it
Declaring the
every
effect every
standby
time
phase.
it gets
It's like
popped.
so annoying. Like, but hey, I guess it's just part of playing the game is to practice this sort of thing. But yeah, this
For
card
sure.
is just a house. Yeah.
And then you have Entis because Diviner can dump any Light Fairy from your deck or extra deck to grave, and surprise, Entis is Light Fairy for some reason.
Yep.
So you can dump that. Its level will still go to 6, so you can use it for regular combo, and you get to remove a card from your opponent's field. And then as for synchros, the only synchro I have there is Arclight.
Oh,
Arclight
sorry,
is
hold on a
also
second.
just
I might be looking at the wrong deck list here. I see a Millenniumize, but I don't see an Instant Fusion in your deck.
crap. You're the wrong one.
That's okay. Okay. I can.
Hold on, I thought I sent you the right one. Did I forget to hit save? Crap.
Yeah, you might have forgot to save. That's okay. I can refresh it real quick.
Oh no.
It's alright. We can probably fix it pretty easily, honestly.
Okay, there's no instant fusion here, so I thought I took out the instant fusion. Yeah, this is my deck. The Millennium Eyes is gone, and there should be a Phoenix in there.
Nightmare Phoenix. Okay, I think that's just easy enough swap. It's pretty obvious that you don't play this card like without instant fusion. Okay, so it's a Nightmare Phoenix instead. Okay, so with the Herald of Arclight, I guess we can move on to obviously just free search. So
yeah,
next,
Herald of Arclight is just a free search. You run Beatrice because Beatrice is a level 6 that you can make generically through regular Drytron combo, and it's a dump.
Yep.
And then I run 2 Drytron Mubeta Fafnir because Lord knows that your first one is always going to get Impermer Veilered. So, you know, being able to go to a second one is just really nice. You can actually make a second one doing just regular Drytron combo if you really need it to. But there's honestly no reason to half the time. And Zeus because, you know, you're running Xyz. If you can just attack and go into Zeus, then why not?
Yep. So
And
I noticed you're not running the bird. Did you just feel like it was not necessary, not enough space? No downer either for the Zeus
there was
plays.
no downer because I didn't think that I would ever need to Zeus more than once to clear a board. Because realistically, I only ever made Zeus against against control heavy decks that ran a lot of back row. And I feel like if they just have enough back row to stop Zeusing, they would generally use the back row to clear my other stuff before I tried to make the Zeus.
I see.
So I felt like I didn't want to commit that much space to something that was going to be stopped anyways.
Okay.
But if I did have the room, I would definitely run the bird. The bird just feels really nice for going into time sometimes. Not to say that you should go into time with this deck. This is a hard combo deck, but...
Hey, we don't make the rules, right? Konami does, so... Okay.
Yep.
Now links here. Let's take a look at the links.
And the links. You run Boral Sword because Boral Sword actually helps you go for lethal. Because between Boral Sword and Ultimateness, that's exactly 8k lethal.
Yeah, it just does more damage than access code, right?
It does 700 more than access code, and that's actually super important for this deck.
Okay.
And then you run the Hip Hoshinogen, which I think I mentioned earlier, but just being able to pop that thing with DPE and adding an Eva back to hand is just so substantial, especially with Ultimateness, where you can just ditch it for basically anything, even when your opponent would special summon a monster.
Yeah.
And I actually used it because in I think one of my matches against Live Twins, where I actually had a hard make this thing and then and it was the reason why I was able to go for lethal, because the 500 attack boost on all your light monsters is actually really significant.
Yeah, plus the darks lose 400 as well, which is pretty funny.
Which I guess hurts DPE, but it really doesn't.
Right, because you almost always... I mean, you're just going to pop it anyway, so...
Yeah, for sure. And then IP was there. Realistically, I did not make IP as much as Hip Hoshinogen, actually, but IP is there because it makes whatever link summon monster you go to can't be destroyed by card effects, and that's actually really nice considering how rampant DPE is running in this format. And then Unicorn is just another IP target, or just something to go into if you needed some spot removal. Link Kribo you run for general Drytron combo, something you link off of
the Novas.
After you summon something off of Nova.
Yep.
And then you have Verte because you use Verte to go into Fusion Destiny after you've been hand trapped like 3 times.
Yep.
And then you have Underworld Goddess. And Underworld Goddess actually just helps you remove a lot of random stuff that Drytrons typically have a hard time outing, like stuff that's just unaffected by card effects and things like that.
Yeah, how did you use this card? How did you feel about this card? Because I don't. This one's not a very popular choice. You know, how did it work for you?
Um, to be honest, there weren't that many times I made it, but against I think Evil Twins, which I played during the day, it was used to help out the 3300 girl. And it was actually really important against live twins because they just do almost all their special summoning exclusively from grave.
Right, yeah, that's true. This card's good.
Which is something that Underworld Goddess also stops. For some reason, there were, I think, 4 live twin players running around that day.
Weird,
and one of them actually ended up winning the whole thing. So, I mean, who knows? It might be a good meta contender for this format.
Yeah, that Trouble Sunny is really, really a strong card. Okay, I think that's it for the deck profile. Any sort of final thoughts, any shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout outs to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Club at UCI. I raised that thing like it was my child.
True. I love that place.
Shout out to the people at Card Addiction, where I played locals at, by the way. I love the people there. It's just that this was their first time holding something, and they didn't really know whether or not to give. They were allowed to even give additional pricing on that stuff.
Okay.
And shout out to Bailey Poltang, who's also had a deck profile here. Shout out to my friend Yishan McNabb here for making such a great Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel.
All right.
And let's see, Nico the Judge, Kyle Waterbury, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And all the people you forgot, who I'm sure will
and
be
all
mad.
The people I forgot. I'm sorry if I forgot one of your names.
Okay.
Oh, and my friends who drove me there.
That's always nice.
Yes.
Always got to thank the drivers. The unsung heroes.
Always remember to thank the people who drive you to these YCS's regionals all over the goddamn state.
Yeah, it's can be pretty tiring. So yeah, definitely thank them. Okay, well, thank you, Donovan. I think we got a really cool insight into your deck profile. This is the first time I've heard of Hip Hoshinogen. So that's pretty cool. I guess now I'll know what people are doing when they summon it.
Yeah, I mean, Hip Hoshinogen is honestly just a surprisingly decent card in this deck.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how DP popping your own cards is like ridiculous. Like there's like the Tri Brigade deck, you can pop your Bear Brum to get the Revolt. This deck, you're popping Hip Hoshinogen to get Ava. It's just the uses seem endless with this card. It's so flexible.
Yeah, this card is honestly just so flexible, and I think that's the reason why there's so many people running this over Dragoon, despite the fact that, Dragoon didn't get banned like it did in OCG.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see if this finds its way on the ban list one day. Who knows?
If anything, I think Verte is definitely the ultimate,
Verte, yeah,
that should be on the ban list because it enables so many.
Yeah,
it's
definitely not
different
a fair
strategies.
Card.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Donovan. Appreciate the deck profile. I'm sure a lot of people will find this interesting. Until next time, guys, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.
Bye. Thank you.